All right, welcome to the next episode of Voice AI podcast, where we discuss the future of voice AI. Today, I'm really excited to host Jonathan Keane, who is co-founder and CEO at CustomerHD. Jonathan, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks, David. It's great to be here, and I'm excited to share our thoughts and vision.
Absolutely. So, very quickly about CustomerHD. So, CustomerHD is a customer support outsourcing company founded in 2017. It combines human agents with AI tools like chatbots, sentiment analysis, noise cancellation, voice translation to deliver efficient customer service. The company has over 500 employees and operates a nearshore office in Belize. And fun fact about Belize, Belize has a diverse society composed of many cultures and languages. It is the only Central American country where English is the official language. Uh, and over half the population is multilingual due to the diverse linguistic backgrounds of the population. Was that right?
No,
Uh,
that's great. But we love Belize. So we're located in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then we have a location in Belize, and that's where the majority of our business is. And the reason we chose Belize is because exactly that it is an English first country. They used to be part of the uh, British Commonwealth. And like you said, it's just a fascinating group of people, amazing people in Belize. But there are seven different cultural influences that drive the overall culture of Belize, which makes it just a really amazing place to be.
wow. And Jonathan, like what's the ratio of voice agents? Is everyone doing voice only,
Yeah,
or
I, we have about 60 to 70% of our agents are doing voice. And then we also do a lot of chats, emails, tickets. We do some social media. We do some back office work. We've dabbled in bookkeeping as well. So, we have quite a few different industries that we work with, e-commerce, healthcare. We've worked with financial, we take compliance very seriously. So it's just been we've even got like beauty products and really just kind of a wide array of industries and companies that we work with. But, most of our agents are on voice, but we can do more than
very cool? Okay, let's discuss about like what how you think about voice AI these days. I'm like super interested in the perspective of like folks like you who operate such a big fleet of like agents, right? Who are voice agents that with all the like problems on the ground, right? It relates to voice, which is like the hardest really form of communication. How you guys think about voice AI and what tools, technologies do you use every day, and the relationship between humans and AI?
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, it's a great question. So voice AI, I mean, I think we've been partnered with Chris almost since the beginning. We started in 2017, and I think you guys started actually in 2017. So I
yes.
think I think we've been partnered. I'm probably wrong, but I think we've been partnered since 2019, and all of our agents are on it. And I think that's certainly a component of voice AI is helping the human agents actually speak clearly. And Chris has removed our background noise for all of our agents pretty much for the lifetime of our business. And I think that's been something that's been excellent for us. But in addition to that, I think, voice AI in general is such a big topic now. And I don't think anybody knows more about it than David. He can teach me more than I'm going to be able to forget. Uh, or whatever that saying is, probably. But he basically, our take on voice AI is that the technology has come a long way. We search and partner with companies that are able to do conversational AI and offer that to our clients. And so it's something has been helpful for us as part of our pitch and our offering. And we've had clients test and pilot it. And how we try to tackle that is really trying to find partners who make it easy to launch. I think we're all, we've all gone through marathon launches where it takes, 6 months to get started. And I think that's the real challenge for a lot of our partners. A lot of our partners are in like the 10 FTE, 10 to 15 agent size. So they don't have the budget to go in on a complex tool that's going to take months and months and months to launch. They want something that's easy to launch, sounds pretty good, and helps improve efficiency or quality or customer satisfaction. So that's the type of partners we try to find, right? And we're learning a lot as we explore this new technology and new kind of direction that customer experience is going. I guess it's not that new anymore. But I think the stuff that we're learning more about is accent neutralization and translation services. And I think that stuff still has some room to improve, to kind of get it to where we're comfortable using it. But I think it's just fascinating to see how many directions this whole technology is going in.
Yeah, I'm working on an article actually. Like I think like every year I want to do this assessment where I list all the voice AI technologies with the problems solving, right? And then what's the state of that technology? So I think if noise cancellation is, I think like it's 10 out of 10 these days, really. I think the accent neutralization or accent conversion has moved to 8 out of 10. Uh, I think like the voice translation is still at 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but I'm very bullish on that one for 25. I think we're gonna see a lot of improvement.
Yeah.
Maybe it will go.
For us in Belize, we've got accent is not a major issue we have to solve for. I mean, that's our English speaking skills are pretty good down there, pretty strong. But the translation services, if you get beyond Spanish, right, that's when I think we're really interested in trying to dive into that, because I think it simplifies a lot of the solutions that people are trying to solve for right now. What if somebody calls in from a country that's not as common, or in a language that's not as common as Spanish or French? How do you solve for that in a economically, economically, and it's a way that saves you not or doesn't cost you a ton of money. So I think that's a great. I love hearing it's 6 out of 10. I think I'd probably agree with you there, David. It's not quite there yet, but
yeah, it definitely it has several issues, but I think we're gonna get through them quite fast. Like John, I have a question on the like voice translation in particular. Like since we have discussed that, let's do a bit of deep dive there. Like from your perspective, like there are language service provider companies, right? That they can dial in and they can you can have like a three-way conversation when the person translates, but quite expensive, right?
yeah.
Are you imagining that the AI voice translation, with AI voice translation, your frontline agents, they will get the superpower of being multilingual? Is
Yeah.
that the case you have in mind, or you can like, and you will win more business by that, like
Yeah. I
useful?
mean, I think that's the dream. I mean, I don't know how possible it is. I think right now the technology that we've seen is there's obviously that let's say it's English to Spanish. There's going to be a delay, right, where that translation happens and it's not live. And I don't know what's possible, but removing that delay seems like a stretch to me. That seems like a big challenge, especially when you get outside of some of the core romantic languages and try to get into some of the more nuanced languages. But even with the core, it seems like that would be a stretch. And so I wonder if there's some educating the customer. Hey, this is how it's going to work. It's good if you pause for a second, right? And let this person
Yeah.
come out. Maybe there's some education that can help with that customer experience at the state that we currently are in.
Yeah, I'm frankly I'm less concerned about the delay. I think like the delay is the most frequently asked question.
Yeah.
from our partners. But I think like I'm personally less concerned about it because like what we have observed is that customers get used to that experience very fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
What matters um, is the accuracy.
Yeah.
Can you translate these nuanced conversations, right? Can you like translate numbers, credit card numbers, emails, not translate, but transcribe and then
Yeah.
translate, right? And then can you pronounce this right? Because if you don't fix that, like who cares if there is a delay or not, right? Like because you are not solving the customer's problem.
And how do you solve for, the when you start to get into technical products and or medical products or something that's really nuanced? There's, when you're building out a translation tool, I would imagine the AI might not learn that as quickly as some of the other verbiage. But I don't know. And I think the other question I have is, sorry, I'm asking you two questions at one time. Is, one of the challenges that we've seen is if you're going in this process and say you're a Spanish and English speaker, sometimes you're thinking you've got an English speaker on the other end who that translation software is working for. I wonder how hard it is to stay straight Spanish. And if you get mixed in, if you kind of do a Spanglish, does that
Uh,
how does that contribute to the technology?
yeah, great. So two questions, right? Like one is, um, how do you get nuanced with terminology and industry-specific terms? Yeah, the good thing about I mean, Gen AI, is that, I mean, its communication skills are extremely good, right? So, like, if you tune it, if you give it a context, what the conversation is about, like pre-context, let's say, and then so it adjusts to the conversation very well, and it does sort of um, it does get specific, so it does translate the terms, understand the terms and stuff like that. I think like where the technology lags right now, where the gaps are like the transcription itself, like transcription, and then pronunciation. Like if you say like very specific terms, it's not the AI, like the Gen AI, that will not understand what it is, but the transcription itself will struggle. Like it will just output something that like a nonsense. And then like if the input is wrong, like how do you translate that? So like there is a lot of work that needs to be done on real-time transcription technology, which is a hard problem to do. But technology is, getting there. It's like that would be my first, like the response to the first question. Your second question was about, yeah, so like code switching. It's called code switching. So when
Okay.
you yeah, like that's the term for it. Like if you are basically using multiple terms within one speech, right? Can you can the AI system transcribe it? The answer is pretty much no today.
Yeah.
I think there are maybe like a couple of systems out there that have tried to focus on it um, in for certain languages, let's say English and Spanish, but they're not. I'm not impressed with that, right?
Okay.
So I think like within a year or so, the more like or generation of transcribers that can understand multilingual sort of speech, and but I agree with you. Like there is in real life there is this gonna see all of these examples where people keep switching between
Yeah.
just using the keyboard.
I imagine that's hard. Uh, but I think everything we're talking about is how do we use AI to make the agents' lives easier and the customers' lives easier. And I think that's how we think about it. I mean, it's really trying to, you know, I think for a long time, the thought has been, hey, how do we use AI to support humans or people? And I think it is flipping a little bit where it's how do you also use people to help AI with those interactions? And I think that's going to continue to happen. Uh, you know, our, our take is AI definitely has a place in customer experience and will always have a place, and that's going to continue to be more and more prevalent. Uh, but there's always going to be certain levels of nuance and complexity that are better handled by people. And
Yeah.
AI to help support people to solve those challenges is when you start to really think about it that way, I think that's when the magic happens. Um,
Yeah, I 100% agree, like John. Like I think like my understanding of this has evolved over time as I talk to folks like you, but also as we build products, like very future sort of looking products, things that we haven't deployed yet, right? We're playing in our support. And what I continuously understand is that I mean, like the technology that works most reliably today is technology that helps humans today, right? Like noise cancellation, like accent conversion, like voice translation. It creates a lot of productivity, reduces cost, uh, but uses the person, the human, as the central figure uh, in supporting the customer, right? So those technologies work very well, like things such as code summarization, right? Things such as like live captions, uh, auto QA. Like I'm sure you guys are using like some of these things like speech analytics, right? To help you drive business. And then like the next wave of technologies, which are like again like are going to require collaboration between humans and AI, are like things such as this voice AI voice agent, right? Or like AI chats that of course like help the agent. But what I find there is like fascinating, right? These systems are so difficult, are gonna be so difficult to manage. There is no way you can be there and to like talk to the customer. It's just the conversations are very nuanced.
right.
And my understanding is, and I would like you to validate if this makes sense or not, but my understanding is that the human agents are gonna be needed, like, and we're gonna rely on them to tune these systems,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
continuously improve these
Yeah.
systems, right? Because it's super nuanced and complicated.
Yeah.
So, have you thought about these things
Yeah.
or not yet?
I think it's great. I think you're talking about exactly where I believe it's going. I think the role of the customer service agent is changing, where, for a long time, the role of the customer service agent has been to, understand the product, answer all questions that come in, have empathy, be able to solve problems, get resolution, et cetera, et cetera. Now I think, as AI comes into the space and has been coming into the space, I think it is changing the role of that agent to be more sophisticated, where they are like, maybe they're looking at reports and analyzing what's coming in and figuring out how to fine tune the AI so that it can better solve for the customer's problem. And I think that's going to be definitely a major role. It already is a major role uh, for customer service and what agents can kind of move into, which I think is really exciting. Listen, we believe at Customer HD, and we see it happen time and time again, that customer service is not just an entry level position. You learn so many foundational skills doing this type of work, and you can grow and develop. And I think what AI is really giving us is an entirely different route, career path that our team can go towards. They can get more technological in their advancements by leaning into the AI technology and learning and understanding how it works, how it can improve. And we've had people do that, and it's been really exciting.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think like the next 15 years, like we're gonna see that transition where like people have been doing certain things and then like some of these things are now taken by AI and robots, right? But there must be people who maintain this
Yeah,
this
yeah,
So it's a different kind of role where you need to be a bit more technical. You need to know how to work with these AIs, right? And prompt engineering
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
one of the areas. Like that's how you work. That's how you tune the AI, right? But you need to understand, like, if a product has a prompt and the prompt doesn't perform well, like you need to go and troubleshoot that, right?
Yeah.
And these are going to be skills that are super important. Like, who else can have these skills than people who have been so connected to the customers, right? And the
Yep.
product, like these two things together. So
I,
yeah,
I,
I'm
it's a totally different career path than we had 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And so I think that, there are different directions that people can kind of move towards in this space. And leadership is always a big one. Quality assurance, training, development. But this technical uh, career path is, I think, the most exciting right now. That is evolving, uh, as we speak.
yeah, absolutely. I think it. I mean, anyway. So one more question,
Yeah,
Jonathan, like about like auto QA type of
yeah.
technology. Is that like, do you see that actually like with the new sort of solutions based on this Gen AI? Do you see that actually helping you guys? Have you deployed such
Yeah,
technologies?
absolutely. I think, we actually have partners where we'll implement an auto QA just for them. That's all they get from us, right? They do it for their internal team. What it really does is it long term it fine tunes. It finds like needles in haystacks, helps understand. Okay, that how do you continue to move that from that 90% CSAT to 92 or 93 or whatever your goal is. I think initially when you launch it well, you can see some major improvements very early on. So you see kind of, it's like one of those graphs that kind of goes, where else, or I guess it's like that. You see some major improvements very quickly, and then it kind of plateaus, and you're still able to kind of analyze and highlight some of the nuanced stuff that you can fix and fine tune. What it really does, though, is it changes the role of QA. The QA agents are not just listening to phone calls anymore. There's QA analysts who are going in and looking at reports and highlighting with their team leads, team managers, and agents. Hey, like you know, your customers seem to have been more frustrated today. This is something that you might be able to do to solve that. And this is, and often for us, the tools we're using are able to give coaching guidelines and help us on that side too. So it's definitely moved the needle. We've had a lot of success with it, and I think it's a great technology right now. I feel like
Awesome.
a lot of people are using it at this point.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
saying, David, I remember the saying at the beginning. I just want to say it. You've forgotten more about AI than I will ever know. That's what I was trying to
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. I'm learning about it like every day, right? So and there is so much I don't know. So I really appreciate Jonathan you coming to the podcast and sharing your insights. Yeah, thanks a lot for that.
It's great to be on here. We really look up to you guys, and we love the partnership that we have with Chris. And thanks a lot for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much. All right,
Yeah.
thank you, folks.
All right. Thanks.